Hey, Phil, are you there? I hate to tell you this, but I might not be able to make it home tonight.
Excuse me, you going to be late again? Or are you saying you're not coming home at all? You're staying overnight somewhere?
Yeah, well, it's not decided yet, but the possibility of not coming home at all is pretty certain.
Really? Didn't your company put out some policy for this winter? It's supposed to get bad today, so unless you're on the night shift, all employees are supposed to leave early because there might be transportation delays or something. Wasn't that what they announced last week?
Yeah, that's what they said, all right, and I was all ready to leave when we got a call from one of our major clients. Apparently they encountered some serious system trouble on their main operating system. The weather is getting bad, but I can't just leave this and go home. We're talking about a major client. We really have to handle it tonight.
Yeah, I suppose it comes with the job, huh? Being a system engineer can get pretty hectic. They're always turning to you when there's even a tiny glitch. Anyway, this isn't the first time. Remember the one last year?
How can I forget that? That was during the big hurricane, wasn't it? That was pretty bad. But this time at least I don't have to go on site. I can do this all remote, but the only problem is I have no idea when this can be solved. We tried several solutions, but it rejected them all. Really not sure what the problem is. Worst case scenario, it may take all night. If, by chance, we find a solution, I can get home, but if not, I may have to stay all night. I'm really sorry about this, Phil. I hope you understand.
No problem. Just don't overdo it or anything. Rest when you can.
Thanks. Oh, yeah. I hate to ask, but could you dump a cup of detergent in the washing machine and switch it on? It's ready to go.
Huh? You want me to do the laundry? You know the dryer's on the blink. Can't hang it out to dry in this weather. Why bother?
Yeah, but just having it washed and ready to dry will save me a lot of time later. I've got to do it any chance I get, or it will just pile up before you know it.
Right. Okay, no problem.
Oh, and could you throw in the kitchen towels and the apron in there too? I forgot to throw those in this morning.
Do we even have an apron? I can't remember using it.
Yeah, I bought it because I'm always on the run, as you know. Didn't want to dirty up my suit in the morning. It saved me the other morning, actually. Splashed egg all over it. I left it on the kitchen table. Forgot to drop it in the washing machine this morning. It's bright blue. I can't miss it.
Oh, okay. I'll check and see later on.
You're doing remote work all day today, right? No change in schedule? You don't have to meet a client later or anything, right?
Yep, that's right. As a matter of fact, I was in the middle of something just now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I thought you were on your lunch break. I'm sorry if I interrupted.
Don't worry about it. After I finish this up, I'm done for the day, so no problem.
Oh, okay, great. So you got the evening free then? All right then. I better be getting back to work. Gotta figure this thing out. If I'm lucky, I can get this done tonight. Wish me luck.
All right, good luck.
Hey, Phil, are you there? Please reply if you're seeing this. I thought you were home. You said you weren't going anywhere. It's a snowstorm out here. Where the hell did you run off to, for God's sake? Did you look outside? Have you taken a look in front of the house? Can't you see the snow piled up on the front walkway? Apparently snow slid off the roof. I got a call from Mrs. Barkley next door. You know the old lady next door, right? Well, she told me that there was a woman buried in the pile of snow. I must have approached the house and the snowpack slid off the roof or something. It was apparently a pretty large pack of snow. Luckily, Mrs. Barkley called the ambulance right away because nobody was home at our place. It took a while for the ambulance to get there, but she said she seemed okay as far as she could tell. As for me, I'm still at the office. We solved that system error problem, but all transportation has been delayed. I have no way to get home because of this snow. I have no idea where you are, so I'm just relaying all this information. Just so you're aware, I can't believe you're not home, Phil. Where'd you go, for crying out loud? Contact me as soon as you see this message. I just hope you're not in trouble or anything. To be honest, I'm worried sick. Phil, are you there? Where the hell are you? I can't seem to get a reply from you. Are you even seeing this? I'm not even sure if you got back home or not. I don't see an icon on screen indicating you're seeing this. Do you even have the thing turned on? Or is your battery just dead and you can't charge it? What's going on, Phil? You're scaring me. I need a reply ASAP. We need to talk about what to do about that woman who was injured in front of our house. She's at the hospital over in Richmond. We can't just ignore her. She was injured on our property. We could get sued, so contact me right away after you see this. You do realize that you're in a real precarious situation here. I hope you're aware of that, Phil.
What the hell is this, Melanie? What's with this message? Sending me crap like this? Is this some kind of gag you're pulling? What's up with this? Making up some far-fetched mumbo-jumbo about you being taken away by an ambulance? What's with this play act and exaggeration? This is not even funny at all, Melanie. And even involving Mrs. Barkley? She's just a little old lady, for God's sake. How could you get her involved in your little prank? It's like you're showcasing your frustration to everybody in this neighborhood. Aren't you in the least bit embarrassed by this dumb little charade? And where were you taken? You said Richmond. Are you talking about the big one on 5th Street? I don't really care, to be honest. I don't plan on visiting you there anyways. I mean, seriously, why would I after what you pulled?
Huh? Pardon me? What are you saying? I'm still at the company. I really can't get out of this right now. I'm not sure I can get home right now.
Hold on a second. Pardon me?
And what the hell are you blabbering about? Phil, I'm really busy right now. I thought I explained it all to you.
But you just messaged me about you getting buried in front of our house and that you were taken to the hospital. What was that all about then?
Phil, are you even reading that message properly? Did you just glance at it? Sure sounds like it.
Huh? Wait a second. You're telling me I read it all wrong? I'm pretty sure...
Just read it over one more time, would you please? And this time, slowly, so that you understand the entire situation.
What is this, Melanie? Some woman was hauled off to the hospital from our house? Are you serious? It says she got buried in snow in front of our house. Are you kidding me? What the hell happened?
Come on, Phil. You did that, didn't you?
Huh? Excuse me?
What was that crap you said to me? You read that message from me all wrong. You thought it was me that got buried in snow, and you didn't give a hoot about me. You weren't even going to visit me at the hospital. Are you serious, Phil? Your outburst is all on record, so there's no use refuting any of it. You meant what you said. There is no denying the fact.
Yeah, well, I just misinterpreted the message is all. I didn't mean it. I was upset. What can I say?
Oh, really? Sure seemed like you meant it. Like I said, the line messages are left on record. There is no disavowing it now. I could even print it out if I wanted to. You want me to do that? Oh, yeah, and I just got a call from the hospital. They were finally able to identify that woman that was taken there.
What?
They said her name was Deborah Sinclair. Ring any bells? I wonder why she was at our home. Delivering something, perhaps? Or maybe visiting someone?
Hold on a second. Did you just say Deborah Sinclair? I mean, just wanted to confirm, you know.
That's right. Sure sounds like it rings a bell with you, Phil. On the other hand, I have no recollection of such a person. Who is this Deborah Sinclair? You know her, right? Who is she, Phil?
I'm not sure. I thought it was you.
Yeah, and? You thought it was me, so what?
Forget what I said. It's nothing.
It's kind of late to be saying any of that anyways.
Pardon me?
Phil, do you know how much time has passed since this Deborah was taken to the hospital? It was a pretty frantic situation that unfolded over there. All the neighbors were out, the ambulance blaring down the street. A couple of cop cars even showed up. In such a situation, don't you think they did a little background check regarding the whole thing? The cops aren't stupid, you know.
What are you trying to say? Come right out and say it, Melanie. You got my undivided attention. Give it a go then.
All right, if that's the way you want it, Phil. I know all about your little affair, Phil. That Deborah, she's your hot little babe, am I right?
Wait, what? How do you...
And you were seeing two separate girls. Really, Phil? I didn't realize you were such a low-life scumbag.
Oh, wait a second. Why do you even know all this?
Okay, you seem completely bewildered, so let me explain the whole thing to you, Phil. Once you found out I wasn't able to come home last night because of the system troubles we had at the client's place and the fact that the traffic was all disrupted due to the snow, you immediately contacted both Deborah and this other girl you're seeing. But apparently Deborah wasn't able to make it, so you decided to spend the day with your other lover. How am I doing so far, Phil? Did I miss anything? What I think you probably did was you decided to go and pick this girl up somewhere because of the snow. That left the house temporarily empty. But because you're so absent-minded and don't really think things through, or maybe it was you because you were so excited to see your lover. I don't know. Well, in your haste, you left the door unlocked.
Huh? I'm pretty sure
Then unexpectedly, Deborah decided to show up at the house. Was she there to surprise you? Or maybe she thought it over and decided she wanted to see her lover boy? Not sure. I guess when she arrived to find the front door open, she figured you were working inside and went in without calling out to you or bothering to knock. After all, you did tell her I wasn't coming home that night because of the snow. She went straight to the kitchen and put on my blue apron, the one I asked you to throw in the washing machine. Then she started cooking dinner for you, as if she were your wife.
Wait, let me explain, Melanie.
Then you came waltzing in with your other lover like nothing happened. You took one look in the kitchen and saw a woman standing there with a bright blue apron. You immediately thought it was me and thought your little love affair was exposed. In your panic-stricken way, you grabbed the woman, who you thought was me, from the kitchen and pushed her out the back kitchen door and onto the snow. You didn't even bother to check if the woman was me.
Are you telling me that woman I tossed out was Debbie?
Yep, that was Deborah. But you seem to prefer Debbie. You guys figured you couldn't very well have your fun and games with the wife at home, so you guys immediately left the house and locked the door on your way out. I have no idea where you guys went, but you were definitely with this other woman of yours, right?
Well, we were... Hey, what happened to Debbie?
I heard that when you tossed her out the door, she fell off the porch and broke her ankle. Apparently you told her, thinking it was me, of course, to stay in the snow to cool off or something to that effect. Debbie managed to make her way to the front door, but it was locked. When she tried to leave the house, she fell off the front porch and couldn't get up due to the severe pain in her ankle. It was really starting to snow about that time, and she gradually got covered in snow, and to make things worse, the snow piled on the roof slid off and buried her even further. She tried calling out, but snow really insulates sound. Did you know that? As you probably know, when it snows like that, there are hardly any people walking around in that kind of weather. It was just by chance that Mrs. Barkley was able to find her. It seems her dog ran off and she was out looking for him and found him snuffing around in the pile of snow in our front yard. I don't want to think about what would have happened to her if she hadn't found her. Immediately, she called the ambulance and was taken away to the hospital. A neighbor also called the police because nobody recognized the girl as anybody from the neighborhood.
Oh, and how is she? I mean, is Debbie okay?
I was told it wasn't anything serious, just a broken ankle. She's recovering just fine, apparently.
Which hospital is she at? Where'd they take her?
Why do you want to know? Are you intending to go visit her? Visit your lover?
Huh? Well, I was just...
To be honest, I'm not at all concerned about your lover. I don't even know her. But to give out information about where she is hospitalized to the very person responsible for putting her in the hospital to begin with, that makes zero sense. So I'm sorry, Phil, I have no intention of telling you anything. Rather than worrying about your sweetheart, maybe you should start worrying about yourself.
Me? Why should I worry?
As I mentioned earlier, a neighbor contacted the police, and the whole thing kind of got a little more complicated.
What do you mean? How complicated?
Did you really think the police would just let this go? Don't you think they would have investigated this? A woman was injured, you know?
But the police... Why involve the police?
They cleared me of any wrongdoing, but I don't know what the situation is right now. I think they're still continuing the investigation.
Wait a second, what are you saying? That I may be in trouble? What's going to happen to me? What do they want from me?
Don't ask me.
How could you say that, Melanie? I'm your husband. How could you be so cold and unconcerned? This could be serious, you know? You're being way too unsympathetic, Melanie. Where's your compassion?
Am I hearing you right, Phil? You're asking me to give you compassion? Seriously? The guy who has 2 lovers? The guy who's been cheating on me for God knows how long?
Yeah, well, it doesn't change the fact that you're my wife and you have a responsibility, a duty to your husband.
Sorry, Phil, that's not going to cut it. Just so you're aware, I'm already talking to my lawyer about a divorce, so...
Huh? Wait, a divorce? You want to get divorced? And why talk to a lawyer? You're really blowing this thing way out of proportion, Melanie.
You don't seem to get the point, Phil. Like I said, you're the one with 2 lovers. You're the one that's been two-timing me. I don't want to hear any crap from a jerk who's been screwing around behind my back. You got that, buddy?
Yeah, well, it was just a fling. You're my main, my true love, Melanie. You know, I was just stressed out with work and all.
Pardon me, I'm your main, huh? Well, that makes me feel so special, thanks.
Yeah, what I mean is, I picked you as my wife. You were the best of...
Best of the lot? Like selecting a used car or something? When are you going to get tired of that and get a new one? And by selecting, are you saying you were already going out with the other 2 girls even before we were married? Maybe there was more than 2.
No, of course not.
Sure sounds like it, Phil. You picked me out of the 3? I wonder why. Is it because I make more than them?
No, what I'm saying is...
I think I'm officially getting pissed off. Before I really go over the edge, maybe it would be better if we continued further discussions regarding this issue through our lawyers.
Like I said, this whole thing about lawyers is going way too far. Let's just talk face to face. I'm sure we can work it out between us.
This coming from the guy that's been screwing around behind my back? My pissed off meter just went up a notch. I wouldn't push it any further, mister.
But I was just trying to...
Please don't try anymore. You'll really regret it, Phil. I would advise against it.
Huh?
Okay, Phil, that's all I've got to say. Goodbye. Have a good life, Phil. I really was about to explode during that line exchange. Glad I cut it off in time. I talked to my lawyer after that and started the process of getting all the papers ready for the divorce. I'm so glad the lawyer will take care of the rest and not have to see Phil any more than I have to. I'm scared I may even give him a fat lip. About a week or so later, my lawyer was able to collect all of the evidence of his infidelity and came up with the amount we would be demanding from him. I was surprised that he got it all done in such a short period of time. The house we were living in was in Phil's name, so I was the one that had to move out. As for Phil, the 2 women eventually learned that he was secretly seeing the both of them. When they found out, you can imagine the furious reaction that must have ensued. Deborah, the girl that got thrown out of the house and ended up in the hospital, is apparently pressing charges against him. The other woman is also suing him for damages. Apparently, he promised her he would get divorced and marry her. Phil kept calling me and sending long, desperate messages online, so I finally changed my phone number and line address. I really can't thank my lawyer enough for moving quickly with all this before it got completely out of control.
Rebecca, hello? I'm calling you. Where are you? Come on, you lousy bum. When I call you, I expect you to reply. What on earth are you up to today that has you so busy? I'm pretty sure it's not anything important. Hi there. Sorry, what can I do for you? I'm pretty busy right now. I thought I told you already I don't like to be contacted unless it's an absolute emergency. Oh, yes, that's right. By the way, you said you were going to the employment agency today? Is that what has kept you so busy? Is that why you weren't checking your messages or replying to me at all? Also, your mother wants me to contact you to make sure you're keeping out of trouble. She's worried that you're spending all your time at home and doing nothing. That's why I've been trying to get hold of you. No, I haven't been to the employment agency recently, and I'm not going today either. Are you serious? You said yourself that you were definitely going to go this week. You said you were going to look for a job. Do you have a problem understanding the English language? Yes, but as I've told you, I've already got a job and it keeps me very busy. So there really is no need for me to go to the employment agency, is there? Here we go again. The same excuses from you every day, bum. You already have a job, you say? All you do is stay at home. What's your job, protecting the house? You have to stop stuffing around like this. No one likes it when you act like this and tell such pitiful lies, you little wench. You seem to forget that we're both part of the same family now. Don't you think you're speaking a little bit too strongly to me? You expect me to speak to a lousy, freeloading bum like yourself with any type of respect? You must have a problem with your brain, too. When you start to act like a regular member of society and start living a normal life, then perhaps you'll get some respect from me. I go to my job every day from morning till night and work my butt off. You stay at home, sitting on your butt. There's no way I'm going to treat you as my equal. Perhaps I could treat my dependent mother well, but definitely not a child like you. Yes, but as I've told you many times before, I have a job. I work from home, I earn a wage, and I also give some of my income to the household funds. That is such a lie! If what you say is true, then give me some of your money. What? If you're working and earning so much money from the house, then there's no need for me to go to work, is there? That's a little bit unexpected and nonsensical. We all may live in the same house, but when we moved in together, you and your brother decided to keep all our personal finances separate. We may live under the same roof, but in the eyes of the law, we're treated as two separate families. That is why my money is my money, and I intend to keep it that way. I do more than enough of the household chores, so I do not see the need to finance your lifestyle as well. Here we go. You're so talkative today, aren't you? You're just leeching off of your mother still. That's so childlike. Even your father disapproves of your lifestyle. It's just that he keeps his mouth shut and doesn't tell you his feelings. If you insist on remaining a bum and not working or trying to get a job, the least you could do is help your mother and father around the house. If you can't help them, then you really need to pull your head out of your butt and get a real job. Isn't that your responsibility, big sister? What did you say? How dare you, you unemployed bum, speak to me in that way? Sorry, can I go now? I'm heading off on my trip pretty soon. I need to finish getting ready. What do you mean you're going away on a trip? Strange that an unemployed layabout can afford to go anywhere. Yes, surely I mentioned it to you before. It's a 3-day trip to New York City. It's a bit of a business trip. I have a few things I need to do in person there. This is definitely the first I've heard of it. Exactly what type of business will you be conducting there? It really pisses me off to hear unemployed bums talking of doing hard work. Sorry, I really have to finish now and get ready. If you would like to continue this talk, it'll have to wait until I get back. I'm sorry. How can you speak so impertinently to me? You're definitely going to regret that. Don't come crying to me when things don't work out on your business trip. Got it, thanks. Are you sure it's okay for me to go now? I really have very little time. Oh man, I can't believe you're still taking that tone. So busy, so busy. You'd better watch your step as you're going down to hell. Hey there! Today's the last day of your business trip, right? Kathy, is this important right now? I'm still very busy. Can it wait till I get back? I'll be home tomorrow. Sorry, I'll keep it brief. There's just one thing I wanted to say. While you were away on your business trip, we all moved out. You're gonna have to live on your own and get by all by yourself from now on. Really? Thank you. Thank you? Sorry, did you hear what I just said? Everyone has moved out. Your brother and I, our children, your mom and dad too. Everyone has moved. Yes, I heard what you said, and I thank you. Finally, your brain has snapped. You realize the situation facing you. You don't know what to do. Welcome to hell. Man, I can't wait to see how you're going to get along as an unemployed bum living by yourself. It's not going to be easy looking after that house all by yourself. All right. So tell me, where did you guys move to? Sure, I'll tell you. I'll give you your address, and you can maybe just come over. Maybe you can set up in the spare room and continue like old times. No. We found a place to move to. It's this fantastic apartment. Rent is cheap. There is no bond. It's so much nicer than the old rundown place that we used to live in. So you're serious when you say you've moved out and you're not coming back? Of course! Why would I joke about that? The old place was so run down and hard to look after. Even if we wanted to tear the house down and rebuild, that'd cost way too much money. Even the land is worthless. We'd never be able to sell it. I spoke to your parents and we all decided to just give it to you. Enjoy.
Really? Is that so? Okay then, I will humbly accept your offer to take over the house.
If you decide to move out, it's going to cost you a lot of money. If that's the path you decide to take, don't come running to us and expect us to help you out with the financing. We have washed our hands of that place and want absolutely nothing to do with it ever again. That's part of the deal.
Yes, I understand your terms. By the way, why did you take my mother and father with you? Surely if you wanted to leave so badly, it should have been just you and my brother and your kids who moved out.
I was wondering how long it would take you to mention that. You were just after your parents' money. It's just as I suspected all along. You were so afraid of being left alone and having to look after yourself. You wanted your mom and dad around to keep looking after you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, you just want their old age pensions to keep providing for your no-good lazing around the house lifestyle. I knew that's what you were after, so that's why I convinced them to move out and come with us. Now both of their pensions will become part of our household income. Perhaps with the leftover money that you're not using, I'll go and get some cosmetic surgery.
Is that so?
Then, when I become more beautiful, maybe I'll be able to meet a whole new world of exciting people. That's what happens when you're rich and beautiful. I'm so excited.
I'm sorry to rain on your parade, but I don't think you'll be able to go and get cosmetic surgery.
Come again?
I'm just saying, without me in the house, I don't think you'll be able to afford the lavish lifestyle you're imagining.
Hang on, lazy bum. What on earth are you talking about? The one who's gonna have trouble getting by is you. No matter how much trouble you get into, we're not gonna be there to help you out.
Yes, I got that. So just to confirm, we're done. No more communication, no more to do with each other ever again.
That's what I said. And don't you ever forget it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your pitiful, no-good life. Rebecca, how have you been? It's been a while. Just letting you know we'll be coming home tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, no big thing, just that we're coming home tomorrow. I assume our rooms are as we left them, right? See you soon.
What on earth are you talking about? Have you forgotten the conversation that we had just 1 month ago?
Oh, that little thing. That was a month ago. We were both so young back then. So young and silly, full of crazy ideas. I can't believe you're making such a big thing over such a childish conversation that we had.
What the hell? You're making me want to puke. We cut our ties, if you remember. You have nothing to do with me, and I have nothing to do with you. Goodbye.
Hang on! That house is our home, too. We have just as much right to live there as you.
What a mess your brain must be in. You gave up your rights to the house when you cut your ties and gave me full ownership of it. All of the costs of running it and general day-to-day upkeep, you offloaded all of that onto me when you moved out.
I know, but that was then, this is now. Things have changed a little bit. There was a little bit of confusion, and for reasons that I won't go into now, we have to move out of our new apartment.
You mean to say you can't afford to live in that apartment anymore?
Well, when we moved out of the house, I grabbed some things from your room, like bags and stuff. I was able to sell them for a bit of cash, but that cash is all long gone.
Aha. So it was you who took the stuff out of my room. I seem to recall you saying, "Don't come crying to me when things don't work out." It seems that the shoe is on the other foot now.
Yes, that was probably my mistake. I thought you said I could take them and do what I liked. Anyway, they've been sold, so they're gone. I'm terribly sorry.
Unbelievable. How do you have the nerve to steal someone's property and then sell it? And then lie so brazenly about why you took them?
Yeah, but to be fair, unemployed people don't need high-brand bags like that, do they? It was a waste for them to be sitting there like that. They looked so sad and neglected. I just borrowed them so they could be put to good use. Then when things got a little tight, I had no choice but to sell them.
You can stop making those pitiful excuses. We both know you stole them with the intention of selling them. Stop trying to sound like you had no choice.
Wait a minute, though. You know I only sold them to make a little bit of money when your parents' pensions didn't cover the living expenses. But now that money's also gone. Now we're in a state of emergency.
So after living without me for a month, you now finally understand how bad my brother and parents are with handling their own finances.
That's right. It's like they're not even thinking when they go shopping. They buy things and they buy more things. They always put it on credit. And then the invoices come later. And then they start to complain that they don't have enough money to pay for it all. What am I gonna do?
Yes, well, my brother is a bit of an idiot, but you can't really blame my parents for their habits. After all, they've both been diagnosed with the onset of early-stage dementia.
What? Dementia?
Yes, don't tell me you didn't notice it until now.
Well, now that you mention it, there were a few times when their behavior was a little bit odd. Do you mean to say that even in that condition, they were in full control of all their finances?
How do you think the finances were being handled all that time? That whole time, I was the one who was handling all the finances, not them. I was working remotely, so I was at home a lot of the time. I wasn't an unemployed bum, as you always said. I had enough of an income to allow me to stay home and continue working. I was able to put $2,000 into the house funds every month to make sure everything was paid for.
So, you've been paying all of the living expenses from your salary.
It's like I said many times, I was earning money and helping out with the finances too. On many occasions, I had told my parents and my brother not to be so wild with their spending.
So you're telling me that you were in charge of the finances all along? Then that's why we're in such a bad position right now. Why didn't you tell me earlier? If I knew that, then we would never have agreed to leave in the first place.
I don't know why I didn't tell you, but I'll tell you now. I'm enjoying this new arrangement. I'm glad I didn't try to stop you.
Recently, we haven't been able to pay our rent, electricity bills, credit card bills. We've got statements coming left and right and center, and I really don't know what to do.
You never had enough income to support your lavish lifestyle. How do you not see that? Your bank accounts are always overdrawn. Your credit card has no funds in it. At first, I thought you'd last maybe 6 months tops.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I never realized the dire situation our finances were in. But it's gonna be okay now. I'm happy to start over. Let's reset.
Say what?
You know, we've got our past, we got along well. I'll be back there pretty soon and we can get back to our fun old ways. We don't need to pay rent there, and you earn enough money so we can pay off all our debts too. I'm happy for you to keep financing the household the way you used to.
No way, sis. That's not going to happen.
What? Why not?
I told you I'm not going to support you guys anymore.
Really? Are you saying you're going to throw your own brother and parents out on the street?
I have absolutely no problem with that at all. It's very similar to the way you guys treated me.
I can't believe you can be so cold. What's wrong with you?
Say what you like, I don't care. Just to clarify though, it's not that I won't support you, it's that I can't support you back at that house.
What do you mean?
Do you recall that old rundown place? The one where we all used to live in? The one that would cost too much to tear down and no one would want to buy? Well, last month I sold it. It's no longer mine.
You sold it? That old shack?
Yep, I put it on the market and it went for $1 million. Take out the taxes and agents' fees, there's still a tidy sum left over. Maybe you didn't know this, but this whole area is marked for redevelopment. Prices have been rising like crazy recently. Everyone is selling up and winning big.
No way. That's fantastic. We as family, we're all eligible to get a little bit, aren't we? How much? How much can we get?
How much? Well, seeing how it was my house and now it's my money, you'll get absolutely nothing.
Come on! We're family, right? Families are supposed to look after each other. It's not fair if you go and take all the money. I'm gonna go around now and collect what's coming to me. What's your address?
I see you have a lot of time on your hands to do things like this now. Actually, you might be wise to get out of that place quickly. Although I don't think running will do you any good.
What does that mean?
Well, I've just contacted the police, and they're probably on their way to your place right now to arrest you.
Police? Arrest me? On what grounds would they be coming to arrest me? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, you dum-dum.
I contacted them about the theft of the handbags in my room. Thank you for admitting that you stole them. I always knew it was you who stole them, but until now I never had the proof. Thank you for giving me all the evidence I need.
Hang on, you're joking, right? It can't be theft between people who live together. There's absolutely no need to call the police over that. And you're gonna look so stupid when I tell them what happened and how you wasted their time. How embarrassing for you.
Now you're the one who's joking. It's straight up theft. When are you gonna see that?
Like I said, it can't be theft if it's between people who live together.
Yes, but the problem is, the items you stole were not my possessions.
What?
My job is an evaluator for high-quality brand goods. The items that you took from my room and sold were all items that I had brought home from my place of business.
You mean to say...
That's right. All of the items that were in my room were items that had been entrusted to us from prospective clients. I had them at home so that I could evaluate them. Surely you'd agree that counts as theft.
So they weren't your bags at all? None of them were?
No, none of them were mine. That's what I was talking about. Oh man, it feels so good to have finally caught the real thief.
Hang on just a moment. I can't get arrested. What's gonna happen to me? You have to call the police right now and tell them it was nothing but a misunderstanding. Seriously! What's gonna happen to me? To us! To all of your family!
Oh yes, it absolutely breaks my heart to have to be the one to break this horrible news to you. But it's just like some advice that a wise person once gave to me. Watch your step as you're going down to hell. Shortly after that, my sister-in-law was arrested for robbery. After her short imprisonment, she had to repay all of her debts and unpaid credit card bills. On top of that, there were my aging parents who needed to be looked after. I truly believe my sister-in-law was leading a life as she truly deserved, in a hell of her own making. My parents' dementia continued to get worse, but fortunately we were able to find them a nursing home that specialized in patients with dementia. Naturally, the nursing home isn't cheap, and my nasty sister-in-law has had to take up 2 extra part-time jobs to try and cover the expenses. As for me, I no longer have to worry about my greedy, selfish family, and I also have no problem with money. With the money from the sale of the house, I was able to find an apartment building that was newly built and featured a whole range of modern furnishings. I love my work, and it's fantastic that I can continue to work from home in my luxurious new place. Now that I have my work and my new house, perhaps next I'll be able to find the perfect person to enjoy it with. It might be just a dream at the moment, but I truly believe I'll be able to settle down and have a wonderful family of my own one day.